Hello. Hey, welcome to the Tech Talk here. Yamaha Synth Tech Talk. What is it? This is Season 5, Episode 2. And today we're going to talk about Montage M OS version 2.0 and E.S.P 2.0. But before we get into that, I'm going to introduce the rest of our international team here today. From Germany, Mr. Hans-Peter Hinkel. Hello, Hape.
Hello, Blake. How are you doing?
There he is. I'm good. I am happy. I have my red hat on.
Yeah, great to see
My
you.
wife told me that the red one was the one to go with. I have a white one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looks great.
Red. Yeah, from Canada, Yamaha Canada.
Wow.
That's who got me this. Anyway, so from France, Mr. Joel Borg. Hello, Joel.
Hello, guys. Nice to see you.
Good to see you as
hello.
well. You guys also have the cool Montage M shirts. I'm just
Yes.
going full black today,
We have made it.
slimming.
But you have a
And
nice guy.
finally, from Rome, Italy, is Manuela Montesanti. Hello,
Hey
Manuela.
guys. Hey Blake. Hi guys. Good to see you.
It's
How's
good
it
to
doing?
see all of you. Gosh, it's been so long since we've actually been together in person. I missed
Yeah.
Super Booth this year, unfortunately, but I got to see some of the things that happened. It looked like it was very fun. I guess you did. Who went to Super Booth this year?
Me.
Just one.
Just happy. Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
okay. Anyway, well, so today we are very happy to talk about the upcoming update for Montage M OS version 2.0 and ESP version 2.0. Now, you may have seen a sneak peek at Super Booth. I know that they showed it there. There's also a very brief article I put up that just very quickly just highlights what's new. On this Tech Talk, we'll take a closer look at this new, very powerful OS. It's a significant update to sound control and workflow. And of course, Hape will show you ESP, the full edit version as well. So let me talk about very quickly what is new in this OS. In fact, I will change to my overhead here so you can see everything that I'm looking at here. So what's new in this OS? So for sound, there's new AWM2 content. There is the new CFX2. This is the latest version of our flagship concert grand. Montage M is the first product to have this content. There's also the Synth Space CP80. So at our Yamaha Synth Space in Buena Park, California, which we call Synth Space LA, there is a beautiful CP80 about a 1977. We sampled that. That is also new AWM2 content. So those are the two new instruments that are new sample. In addition to that, there's 58 new performances as well. There's a new Shimmer Reverb that we added. That's a reverb with a modulated reverberation effect. Modulated reverberation. That's what a Shimmer Reverb is. It's ethereal. It's spacious. Very cool. There's an ANX wave folder. So in the ANX model, we added a new modifier called a wave folder, which is a type of distortion. Very cool. We added that as well. And of course, ANX Smart Morph, the Smart Morph technology that we added in Montage M for FMX. Well, we've brought it in to the Montage M for ANX. It's very cool. We'll show you that as well. For control, Montage M is adding new high-resolution controllers for MIDI 2.0. So this is the beginning of the MIDI 2.0 compatibility that Montage M slowly will evolve into. The first step is the high-resolution controllers. So it supports controllers that have more than 0 to 127. Higher resolution control, that's just the beginning of what we're going to add to the MIDI 2.0 compatibility with Montage M. And then for workflow, there's UI improvement. There's an organ graphic that shows up when you set the faders to reverse, so like drawbars on an organ. When you set it to reverse, the screen actually shows a little graphic of the YC drawbars, which is pretty cool. There's element level control on the faders for elements above 8. So if you have a performance, or rather a part of a performance that goes beyond 8 elements, before you didn't have any level control over any of those extra elements. You only had element control over the first 8. Well, now we've changed that with this new workflow enhancement that allows you to get to, in groups of 8, elements above 8. So that's a very nice little workflow update. And then, of course, ESP version 2.0 is a full edit version of ESP with enhanced file management. Very cool. Hape will show you that in a moment here. But let's talk about some of the new content. I'm just going to play like 3 seconds of each one of these, but the first one I want to talk about is the CFX2. So the CFX2 is our latest version of the flagship CFX. It was released in 2022, and it was completely rethought through. Man, this piano is so amazing to play when you play it for the first time. I mean, this is it right here. So the thing I love about this piano is that it still has the fundamental, which is a strong sound profile of the CFX. The fundamental kind of pump comes out a little bit more. So it allows you to project above a symphony orchestra, for example, acoustically. So it still has that strong fundamental, but it adds this new level of note bloom and resonance to it. The action is being redesigned. There's just all sorts of cool things. And the Montage M is the first product that gets this new sample content. So that's the new CFX2. It adds just another color to an already extensive collection of grand pianos with the original CFX, the Bosendorfer, the Hamburg Grand, and so on. Next, we have the SynthSpace CP80. I mean, this sounds like a CP80. It's a great playing instrument, the one that we have. This version has all of that big, warm, full sound with extended soft layers and more natural decay and things like that. So we sampled this based on a survey on our Yamaha Synth Idea Scale community. It was one of the top things that people wanted, so we added that. So those are the two new waveform contents. And now I'd like to introduce you once again to Manuela Montasante, and he's going to play a tune featuring both of these new sample content. Take it away, Manuela.
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome. That was
Hey.
great. I gotta say, when you use the flaming dragon sound, the change from the scenes, one of them is using the
Yeah.
automated
No, but
the motion sequence.
yeah. But I
That
have
was
not-
cool how you did that.
Thank you very much. Thank you
I
very
was
much.
watching how you were doing that.
No, but I don't have synchronized nothing. I was just setting the tempo of my songs.
Yeah.
Songs come from Cubase, and I've played in real time, and it's super funny. It's
That's
super
just,
funny
I
to do.
love how that's a great way to use the automated knob. Just go back and forth, with the
You-
scenes.
you're,
It's so
you're
cool.
talking about you're talking about the
Yeah.
sounds like
And then when you hit one of the scenes that does, that was great. That's such a great way to use the
Thanks.
super knob automation, so that during a live performance,
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Thank you
That was
very
awesome.
much. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank
Good
you.
job. So,
Yeah, thank
if
you.
you didn't hear it in there, Manuela was using a few sounds that had the Shimmer Reverb.
Yes, I did. If
Yeah.
you want, I can explain some words about
Sure.
my
Yeah.
sounds.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
No, the first one is the new LA CP80, and in this preset, it's possible to control the Shimmer Reverb, so create like,
Yep.
And then this is the first wave folder pad. But the texture of the wave folder is controlled by the super knob, and then the explosion. This is
Yeah.
explosion noise. And the first sound with the ANX Smart Morph is for the first part of my solo. Then I have control the movement directly to my super knob. But it's super funny to go live
Yeah,
in this way,
Yeah.
Yes, this is super funny. Yeah. And I have finish with the lead sound. The lead sound come from my sounds. Is the same. The sounds of I have used it for the Drift Lab record. It's called My OS. It's just a combination from the FM sounds and ANX part.
Yeah.
and this is played with a harder synth comp sounds for play the chords during the solo.
Very cool.
But I love so much to play with the scene for the the arpeggio.
Well, it's nice.
and
You know where they're located now. Here makes it easier to get to things.
Yes.
I love how it's
Yes.
everything's kind of moved in from the original montage.
exactly.
It's so much easier to get to things and
You know, the user
in real
interface
time
is
without thinking. Just go.
Yeah. No, but the user interface is amazing. The scene control in this part of my my hardware interface is super cool
Yeah.
for using live performance. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
That
you.
was great.
Thank you very much.
So you're going to come back and play another tune, yeah?
Yes, no, I have bring with me some experiment with the other news, but I want to talk in later maybe.
Here we go. All right. Well, so Shimmer Reverb. I'll get into that a little bit here. So this is the new CFX2, and this has the Shimmer Reverb. You'll notice over here in my screen, you can see it also in the center there because I have the screen there as well. But if you turn up, these 3 buttons, actually 4 buttons, are tied to the super knob, which is a great thing of the Montage M, is just being able to disengage and engage assignable knobs as you need it. So right now we have 4 of them associated to the super knob. But let's say I'm going to disengage that. I'll take the delay amount. So we're just going to focus on the Shimmer Reverb. And I'm going to drop into edit mode here so you can see it. This is the Shimmer Reverb right here. These are all the parameters. Now, every single one of these parameters, again, this is one of the cool things about motion control, is that not only are standard MIDI controllers like cutoff frequency, resonance, and so on are available to you in this very deep control matrix, you can also get to individual parameters and assign those to controls. So in this case, they have been assigned here. So shimmer on is right here. And there's the shimmer right there. We also have the shimmer pitch right here. Let me turn the amount up again. So you have 2 different pitch sources here. I'll go the other direction here. It's just such a great sounding reverb, and it's an ethereal, ephemeral because of the shimmer effect, which is the pitch shift of the reverberation. But it's such a great sounding effect for different types of ambient music, for film scoring. It's actually big in the worship community right now as well. Worship music has brought in a lot of that beautiful shimmer sound because I think of its very heavenly quality. It's really beautiful. So where does the shimmer reverb show up? It's in the reverb effect, so it's a common effect. It is not an insertion effect, but it's there for you to use. It's there for you to control. Literally every single one of these, with the exception of a few things in here, are assignable to any controller. So it could be, if I wanted to like shimmer gain here, as soon as I press this little, anything that is assignable, that control assign light up will light up right here, and you just move a controller there. I've assigned it to a modulation wheel. It's just that fast. Very cool. So that is essentially the new Shimmer Reverb in this instrument. Very cool. So I'm going to just briefly play a few performances, and I want to show you a couple of them that I think are very cool that show some of the new features, like the ANX Smart Morph. This one's called 4 Keyboard Favorites. So this is an ANX sound. It sounds like an electric piano. But as soon as I move like my super knob, or I can go across here, you can hear it change pretty quickly to like a synth comp sound. Or I can use the scenes here. It'll change where it's at. So again, this is the ANX Smart Morph. There it is, right here, ANX. There's a new tab that shows up right here. If I want to do a new Smart Morph, I can go over here, maybe chromatic percussion, ANX Virtual DX. So it's this sound here I'm going to add to it, and then hit the Smart Morph, boom. And I love how fast Montage M makes Smart Morph so much funner because it's just that much faster. And now you have... If I don't like it, I can try a different one. I can add another part here and do the Smart Morph process. It's so cool. So that's a new thing that we've added in OS version 2.0 is this new Smart Morph. You know, we're going to go so long if I don't move on here. So I'm going to go ahead and move on and introduce you once again to Joel, and he's going to talk a little bit about ANX Waveform Folder and Smart Morph as well. I think I stole some of your fire, but there you go. Take it away, Joel.
Yes. You make an introduction for me. Thank you very much, Blake. Yeah, and hopefully I will start with the wave folder. So we are on ANX, and on ANX, on that OS2, we have two new great things, like I explained to you. And the first one is the wave folder. So this is not the effect that we have already on Montage X Plus. The wave folder that I talked to you in ANX is in the audio engine directly. So you keep the two insertion effect that you have for each part if you want. Where to find it? That's very easy. Press on navigation here, and you have it here. You have the modifier here. And ta-da, you go directly on it. This is a new section that we have. It's called Modifier. And the first screen that we have here is called Wave Folder. And you have the envelope generator and the low frequency oscillator to manage. So it's really great things and complex. And to show you where it is, I like to show on that screen. On the filter amp, you have already it's map, I will say. On the ANX engine, you have the free oscillator and the noise that go, I will say, to the mixer, and they can go up to the filter, but before the filter, they pass to the modifier, and after go to the filter 1 and filter 2. Or if you do not want one of the oscillator or noise go to the filter, you can directly connect it, like I said on bottom, for the noise to the amp. And in that case, it does not go on the modifier, it does not go on the filters. So, what is a wave folder? It's a kind of distortion, I will say. It changes a bit the waveform, and it can make dirt a bit the sound if you use the soft setting that we have here. But if you use the hard setting, it will be, I will say, kind of noisy on the sound. If you want to have that also on the sub-screen, I remember to you that's very easy. You press Shift and you press Page Jump, and you have the same settings near the same settings here. We have only two shortcuts on that screen here that you do not have here, of course. And we have the same things here. It's on the pitch, and it's on the fourth folder is the first one. So for the settings, here I have my sound without any wave folder, like that. And if I add the wave folder, you will hear, I am on the soft. You hear the sound is changing. More distortion, a little bit dirt on the sound, because I am on the soft. If I go on the hard, be careful with the settings on the hard, because more metallic, more electric, more noisy sound. And that's the first thing you can use for that. You have the answer to the velocity. You can go up, and in that case, more you play hard and more you have wave folder. And of course, you need to have a value here. And I like to work in that reverse way. I have the wave folder on low velocity and less when I play strong. And you have the texture. The texture, I will say, when you are on the left at 0, it's more dark. And when you go on the right, it's more bright. Like that. I will change to come back to near to 0. you will hear better like that. I come back to a middle value. Let's go to the envelope generator. Very easy to understand. So it's the envelope generator. You push a def or minus value as you want, and you can change when the wave folder arrive and how we react on the time. Like that. I will not pass too much time on that. But the most interesting thing for me is what we have on the low frequency oscillator. So I need to push def. So you have several waveforms that you can use. I like to use the square for that. So you see, it can be dirt. Even on the soft, I can be dirt like that. So on that screen, you have some settings that you do not have here. You have the key on reset that you have only on the screen, and you have a phase value, very important phase to set where you start on the wave folder. If you start from the bottom, if you start from the up, as you want when you work with that wave folder. And on the envelope generator, we have the time value that is here and that is not available on the subscreen because subscreen is shorter, most important value that we have here. And perhaps you think, I will go to 0 like that. Can I set some settings as a destination? Yes, of course we can. The wave folder, we can set it as a destination to be under control, something that you want. Not for the velocity, you will see the controller sign, it does not light up the texture, yes, and even the type can be set as a destination. On the modifier, the sustain cannot, and the time value cannot be set as destination. And on the low frequency oscillator, the key on reset cannot be set, and the phase delay and fade in, because you can make, I will show you here on that screen, you can make a delay, start the change for the low frequency oscillator, and you can make also fade in if you want like that. Have something great like this, and these settings cannot be set as destination. So if I want to assign, as an example, the wave folder to my mode wheel, that's easy. I select that value, I press Ctrl assign, I move my mode wheel, and ta-da, I have my wave folder under my mode wheel control. I can do that. And if I go to the texture, I can assign to the supernova as an example. Very easy. I have some other things on the supernova on that. And remember one thing for the texture, you need to have a value on the wave folder to hear that is produced. If you do not have, you will not hear. So you can change the sound and tweak for dark to bright, and that's very great to have that on that wave folder. And the second thing Break introduced to you is the Smart Morph. The Smart Morph was released for the MONTAGE OS 3.0 on the first generation of Montage, and you have it directly on the MODX and the MODX Plus, if I remember fine. And it was only for FMX. And now we have the Smart Morph for the ANX. So you need to understand that the Smart Morph can be only for ANX, only for FMX, and there is no Smart Morph for AWM2. And what is a Smart Morph? You have this nice, here on the screen, you see better on the top, Smart Morph map, I will say. And the position where I am is the blue point, and the white square that you have are the original sounds that I set to create that Smart Morph. And to explain to you, I go to mixing, and here, from part from 1 to 16, and the part 1 have its content replaced by the morphing created by the Smart Morph. You can set 8 parts if you want, from 9 to 16. Here I have choose to be quickly and to be more easy to have 3. My first part I start was chart comp, and like I like that sound, I have put it as part 9. I have put a string on 10 and an organ on 11. And the Smart Morph replaced the original content of my chart comp, but I can retrieve a little bit it because I set it as one of the components for the morphing. That means that if you want to start with a preset that you like the arpeggio, you like the controllers, you like the motion sequencer, this kind of things, stay with the part, there's only the ANX settings here for ANX Smart Morph that will be replaced by the Smart Morph to simplify the things. So if you want to keep the controllers, the arpeggio, the motion sec, start with a preset or a user you want to start. If you want to really start from scratch, you can start for ANX init at your choice, of course. And in that case, you will not have controllers, you will not have insert FX, you will not have arpeggio, and you can build, after building your Smart Morph, you can build all the things around the ANX. So where to go to create the Smart Morph? Here it's already down. We go here on Smart Morph. We have this nice first screen, which is play. You have the map in largest view, and you need to realize that here you see my slot here. That screen have 1032 slots. That means for the part 1 now, I have 1032 morphing combination of ANX settings for the 3 parts I have set as base. That's huge, because you do not have one, you have 1032. Of course, when you are very close, I will use my supernova square. When I am on that square, this is the string. So I have the ANX string that was in part 10. If I go here on the bottom, here this is my chart comp, my sync comp. And here this is the organ. And I will start with that one. When I move around, there is a little bit differences. And as more I go far, it changes to go to the settings for the second part. So when you are close, you are near. When you go far, you change the settings to go to something else intermediate as you want. But it's when it's done. So how to done that? So the part 1 is here, and simply here I have already set my things to do not pass too much time. I keep like that. But if I want to add a 4th part and create a new Smart Morph as an example, I press on it, and you see all the parts are single parts, because you cannot merge here. You put one part by one part, and it can be the part 3 from any other multi-part performance, because if you know on this performance the part 3 is the one you want, you can set the part 3 on that performance. But you can take only one part each time you go and add some things. Here we are on ANX, so I can put only ANX part. If I do Smart Morph for FMX, I will have only FMX part. And as Blake showed to you, when you press learn, it can change. So if I'm not happy with this Smart Morph because I say, okay, I have the 3 parts, but the result is not so great for me, I press learn and it changes. And you see the color change and say, what are that colors? Here you see the red and you see a setting. This is in auto. Here, I will say, to be easy, the system from the new CPU that we have on the montage, which is very quick. If you have the first montage or the Modix and you compare the time for the learn, that's huge. It's very, very quick. And it said, as an example, you see on the red the unison spread here. For the green, it said you will see that. It's just a graphic view, but to show you, to help you say, okay, when I change that, it changed more that setting. But when you press learn, it's not because you set a destination and you go to manual that it arranges in the destination you have chosen. It's just a graphic view to be easy. The learn make the job for you. Okay? I will just come back to my original performance because you have prepared some things on that. And we can dress a road for the supernova. Go and see on my top screen because here it's a little bright. And we have a start point, we have end point, and it's very easy to set because it's X, Y position, so very easy to understand where you start, when you finish, like that. And we have, and it's on the Montage M only, it was asked because on the first montage we have only 2 points like that. And now we can have up to 6 waypoints, so we can make really crazy design and change routing for the supernova passing through different parts and slots and colors as you want. To be more easy for that episode, I set only 1. I am on the part, but that's good. And I can move my supernova and change my sound like that. That's very easy. Or you can go on the screen and tap and try if you like better that sound, that morphing that one over. And we have a job function, and on the job function you see load, and you can ask perhaps, oh, I can save. When you store your performance, it is stored as a smart morph. So when I press load, and I go as an example to the user, this is the user ANX smart morph that I have created. And of course, you have some preset, you have some FMX, and if you load, it will be FMX, not ANX. And you have several pages, and you have some ANX like that. So when you press store, it's stored as a smart morph. No matter, no things to think about that, it's stored as a smart morph. If you're not happy with that and you want to change it, you can delete the smart morph. That's the second position. And very important thing, you can delete the part from 9 to 16. Because, say, I am happy with that smart morph. I find the good points I want to work with. But I have some parts from 9 to 16. So I lose this SSS, the seamless sound switching. No, if I have happy with the smart morph, I can delete the part from 9 to 16. And now you see the top message, SSS enabled. So I can retrieve my SSS, and my part 1 that contains the smart morph will have all the data for changing the sound. But perhaps you think, okay, but when I play on live, I can have things under control, because it's not very easy with my foot control to control the super knob like that and find a good position. So depending where you place your smart morph, you can use, and the point here, you can use the position. Here as an example, the mid position is on the second point, and the end position, of course I place in a good way, is on the last position. So I can do like that. But you see the jumping of the super knob. You hear the jumping also of the super knob. You can work also with the scene memory. On the scene memory, you can set and place the super knob position. I have set intermediate sounds, intermediate morphing, like that. But you hear when you change, you hear it change. Perhaps you want that effect, perhaps you do not want. So I have something for you to finish. Here you see, this is the same performances, but I have 3 parts. I have one on part 1, one on part 2, one on part 3. The part 1 have the smart morph map inside. And when you try, you can try things like that. You say, okay, not so bad, change a bit. Less reverb behind. I like that one. I want to make a snapshot of that one. Can I do it? Yes, simply press part 1, do copy, and copy to part 2. I will not do it because I do some things. And you search one other position you like, and you say, do the same thing. I want to have a snapshot of that position. Copy, as an example, set to part 3, press copy. For my part, I will press cancel. Why? Because I have stored in scene memory the keyboard control. And the part 2 is one smart morph position snapshot. I cannot change that position after when I play with it, but I have set a second position with a second sound, and part 3 is one over. That means I can have under control, if I want, 8 different sounds from my smart morph map under control with the scene memory. And in that case, if I go to come here better, it does not change because this is the keyboard control. So that's a creative way to create your sounds, to have them for the live, for your stage, and to jump from one sound to one other sound with a new ANX Smart Morph. That's all for me. I think we are going to Germany to see my friend E.S.P. and he's going to talk to you about the MIDI 2 and the user interface.
Yeah, thanks Joel, great demo. And yeah, thanks to Blake, I don't have to talk much about MIDI 2.0, he already mentioned it. We have the new high resolution controller protocol that applies to all the physical controllers like pitch bend, like modulation wheel, the knobs and the super knob. And as Blake already mentioned, this is just the starting point. I like to show a few of the new user interface improvement that came with the update to OS 2.0. I just go briefly over a few of them. We don't have the time to show all of them. So one of the first things I'd like to show is you can see I have the one of the preset live sets assigned here. So, and whenever I go to the category search, for example, I'm searching for a different performance like this. So this is the first one. And let's say I want to check a different one like this. Sounds a bit similar. And now I want to start editing a little bit. I can stay in the category search and I can use the faders, the knobs, the buttons to change the tabs here and everything to start editing, tweaking right from the category search. So I don't have to leave the category search for some editing. So for example, I bring in a second oscillator here. Or I go to filter, put the filter down a little bit. Or I can do like Joel already showed, go to the modulation and set the wave folder a little bit. Right, something like that. Whenever I like to go deeper, I can use the page jump and then I can access a different page here and have a different page here. I can work simultaneously on both screens with the knobs here, with the display knobs, with the sub-display knobs. Everything works, and yeah, so that's one of the first thing. The next thing I want to show is we have some news for the FMX. And now I have an FMX performance. I choose Quick Edit and I select the part so that we can see the parameters from the part in the sub-display. Sorry. And when I'm standing here, when I choose this knob here, I can change from part volumes for the fader that control the part volumes, or the operator levels of the FMX engine. And that's the setting, it is stored with the setting with this performance. And now, whenever you change volumes for operators, you need to know which one is a carrier and which one is a modulator. We have a lot of tech talks about FMX, and there are also a lot of articles if you want to learn more. So that's nothing to describe right now, but you have to know which operator you control, if it's a modulator or if it's a carrier. And this is now visible immediately. So when you take a look at the LED stripes here, you can see that this one is highlighted from the bottom to the top. And in this case, we have some dimmed LEDs and just the top one is bright, which means this is the carrier. So this looks like the carrier, and this is the modulator. So, and even before this, we had to take a look at the algorithm like this. So in this case, you can see one is the modulator, two is the carrier. But it goes even further when we go to the oscillator. For example, the oscillator tab here, sorry. There we go. And now you can see again, when I make it a little bit bigger, you can see that the operator 1 has this small asterisk here, which means this is the modulator and the carrier is number 2. And then I can start work with the parameters here. Whatever I do, right? So that's a new thing coming with operating system 2.0. And I have a third thing to show here, which is the new drawbars display here. So whenever you have an organ sound, you are now able to reverse the fader behavior from the let's say, the normal behavior to the reversed behavior. And then with the operating system 2.0, we have this new drawbars visible here. So this is an organ, of course. Right? And to get to this view, we have, first of all, we have to set the view mode from default to part info. And the second thing, of course, is the most important thing, is to inverse the fader behavior. I go to navigation, controller, and then control settings. And there we have the settings for the slider direction. This is normal. And normal looks like this in the split view. So this is from 0 to 127, the normal way. And going back to reverse, this is the kind of drawbar way, right? Yeah, that's it. That's just a kind of excerpt of the new user interface improvements that came with the update. And now I move over to E.S.P to show you some news there. And first of all, I have loaded a performance here. And now what we have in addition to the first version, I mean, if you missed it, we have a tech talk, or we used to have a tech talk in January where we talked about the version 1 of E.S.P. So I will just go over the additions. So previously in version 1 we had also this quick edit view, but not the detailed edit view like this. And of course I can still use the quick edit view here. For example, when I stay on common here, or I selected common, I can use the cutoff for the entire performance. Right. Let's turn the arpeggio on. So when I want to tweak, or I want to control just a single part, I can select a part. In this case, I have to bring the volume up because it's set to 0 currently. And then I have the filter for the for this part under control here. For example, but this was pretty much possible before, but now with version 2, we have this full edit menu here. So here's all of the pages. Here are all of the pages for full editing. For example, if I want to go to change something in the insert effects, I can do it from here. Directly can go to insert 2, for example. Or if I want to change arpeggios, I can do it from here. And I like to show you one really cool thing that I like a lot, is that we even have some shortcuts. So whenever you see this arrow here, like this, in this area, or in this, we have an arrow, there we have an arrow. Whenever you see this arrow, this is a shortcut directly to the settings. So for example, if I go for the filter and amplitude setting, I click on this arrow, then it opens up the detail view in the full edit version here. So that's a cool thing. I can also go, for example, to the LFO, or for example to the equalizer. That's really cool. And yeah, I mean, everything else is like, it behaves like on the instrument. You can edit everything like on the instrument. And what I want to go through really briefly now is the data utility. It can be found here. So when you choose this, you have the data utility. The data utility looks like on the instrument. So it gives us an overview about all the content that is currently installed in E.S.P. And here you can see all the arpeggios that are in the user memory. You can see all installed libraries. You see I have 16 libraries installed right now here. You can see all the performances, and all the waveforms, for example. So that's like the data utility. And of course, we can immediately start doing in the data utility, for example, for the performance. When I right click on a performance, I have the option to rename it and to delete it and to overwrite it. Overwrite means it will overwrite this performance with the one I have in the current edit buffer. So the one that I edited recently, this will overwrite this one if I choose overwrite, right? So that's the ability we have here. And in the library folder, here are all my installed libraries. And when I right click on one of the libraries, I have also the option to delete it immediately, or I can choose library import, which is the same function like on the instrument. So this allows us to import performances from this particular library into the user memory. When I click on import, it shows me all the performances of this library, and when whatever I choose here, it gives me the ability to import into the user memory of ESP. So that's the data utility. And last but not least, I want to show you the new sync options that we have. If you saw our first live stream in January about ESP 1.0, we just had the ability to synchronize the edit buffer, and I demonstrated how to do it. And I also mentioned that we have to take care about user waveforms and user arpeggios, so I don't want to repeat that now. But what we can do now in addition is we can transfer entire user memories either from ESP to the instrument, or we can receive it from the instrument to ESP. On my instrument, you can see I have just a few performances, just a few waveforms, just a few arpeggios. So I created it to make it a little bit quick. So I will now receive the content from the instrument into ESP. It will overwrite the user memory of ESP, of course. So my current user content in ESP will be overwritten with the content from the instrument. Yeah, this can happen when we are working with beta versions. Sorry about that. Sometimes it happens, and it's pretty rare, but yeah, it is still a beta version. The second try mostly works. There we go. Now everything is synchronized, and now when I go into the data utility again and I take a look into the performance, you can see now I just have 4 performances as in the instrument, just a few waveforms and also just a few arpeggios, right? Of course, the libraries didn't change because I just transferred the user memory, so all my libraries are there like before. And going back to the synchronization here, we can also synchronize libraries back and forth. So for example, I can say, okay, I want to have this library also in my ESP memory. I can then say receive, but in this case it says library full because all of my 16 library slots are occupied. So I have to delete one first. And it also works, of course, the other way around. So I can say I want to have this library in my instrument. So transmit it from ESP to the instrument. Last but not least, we can synchronize entire backups between the ESP and the instrument. So without using a USB flash drive like we had to use it before, you can now use just the USB connection and transfer entire backup files. Of course, when you have a big backup file like I have, for example, 16 libraries and 2.1 gigabyte of samples and a bunch of waveforms and arpeggios, stuff like that, and performances, it will take a while, like loading a regular backup file into the instrument. But at least it works like this, so you don't have to deal with all the USB flash drives and stuff like that. You can do it right this way. Yeah, and that's it from my side. And now I like to take it over again to Manuele. He will show also a combination of ESP and the montage. And yeah, I'm curious to see what you have prepared.
Nothing too special, but your presentation is amazing. Thank you, Happy.
Oh,
It's really good.
Thank you.
And no, I have bring with me that I have told to Blake something like I want to build a 4-part groove from scratch. And before to start, I want to explain what I have loaded inside my Cubase session, because I have opened one E.S.P for the drum sounds, you know, the other E.S.P for the bass sounds, and the other one for the guitar, like for the something like funk groove. And I wrote one chords because now we have in the new version 2 of our E.S.P the complete full edit version. And I want to start to play this simple chord, and inside of this simple chord I have controlled the arpeggio and the ANX performance called short and fast, and this is something like the synth comp. And I want to start to modify something inside to the ANX engine. For example, we can try to change the octave or our oscillator. Maybe I want to check what happened if I move my super knob, and this is super cool. But we have told about the wave folder, and I want to add in something the wave folder for become something like noisy my ANX sounds. And then I want to move the resonance and cut off. Okay, I think it's okay for the my groove, but before I don't like to stop my sequence, and I want to try to play all in real time. Okay, first of all I want to recording the movement of my super knob, and then I wait 1 bar, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I did. Want to just quantize something, and my first groove, my synth groove is ready. Now it's time to play some, maybe the guitar noise with the delay. We can wait 2 bars, 2 and 1, 2, 3, 8. Want to prepare the groove. Yes, I did. Now it's time to play some drum groove. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and we did. Now it's time to play the bass line. 1, 2, 3. And we did. So basically the groove is ready, and I have bring with me another tracks with another E.S.P, and now it's just for fun, but it's possible to play a solo. Basically, is my what I did with the E.S.P. Normally, I create my song, my composition, my demo like this, and now with this new plugin, is very powerful, is very fast, is very super quick. But don't forget, because I have the Montage M hardware below my finger, and you can imagine to combine the software and the hardware, and the result is amazing. Okay, I want to record the sound from the hardware. Shimmer. And if I have a lot of lots of time, I continue my complete production. But I think to do the stops. That's my that's what I want to show you. What is possible to do in real time with the new E.S.P. and combine it with the hardware Montage M. And basically that's all. I think we need to back to Blake.
Cool. That was awesome. You know, it's great. You know, the thing I love about ESP, and by the way, just to mention, that was in Windows, right?
Yeah,
because we've been all Mac here, but there you go. There it is in Windows.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of being able to, when I want a new sound, I just open up another instance of the plugin. Don't have to worry about patch changes, or just open up another version of the plugin, and it's really efficient. You know,
exactly,
it runs really well.
Yes.
It's such a cool thing. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was
you,
great.
Blake. Thank
So,
you very much.
Just to end this up here, I want to talk a little bit about the resources that are right there. So YamahaSynth.com, I will be doing an article. In fact, that's what I'm doing the rest of the week, is working on my article on OS 2.0. There'll be lots of audio examples and more in-depth things about what's new, really drilling in, dialing in, and looking at stuff with screenshots and all sorts of things. That's what we call my Blake's Take article on OS 2.0 and ESP 2.0. That will be on YamahaSynth.com. All things Yamaha Synth. Go there. There's lots of articles, videos. There's a forum up there. YamahaSynth.com. IdeaScale is our community that, if you have any ideas that you'd like for a product or a feature request, like I saw in some of the comments actually on the video today, go to IdeaScale, join the community, put your ideas there, and we definitely go through them, and our developers take a look and see if those are feasible. And once again, that's IdeaScale. SoundMondo is our free social sound sharing site for Yamaha synthesizers and stage piano. It's available on the Chrome browser or on an iOS app. That's SoundMondo, free social sound sharing. Yamaha Synth SoundCloud, I will be putting all 58 auditions, for example, because I'm going to put them as part of my article. They will be available very soon up on the SoundCloud, along with lots of different audio demo things, musical things. Also, I think we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 plus podcasts with different sound designers, artists, all sorts of stuff. That's up on our SoundCloud account. And then finally, the Music Production Guide. Hape works on this, every few months, drops a new version of the Music Production Guide. You'll want to definitely go check the links, by the way. They're in the description of this video. He has over 10 years, 11, 12 years of music production guides going back that you have available. And, of course, there'll be new ones coming with new things as well. Those are the resources. One of the big questions, and I think we can bring everybody back now at the end here, but one of the questions that I saw in the comments is when is this going to happen? It's going to happen really, really, really soon. That's the best I can tell you. It'll be available probably before the 1st of July, you know. Mm-hmm. But right now, we're still working on it. As you saw, we're still in the beta phase, but it's imminent. So where do you go to get information, go to YamahaSynth.com. I will announce it up there. It will also be on our corporate global website. In the US, it's usa.yamaha.com. In Europe, it's europe.yamaha.com. Is that what it is? Europe.yamaha.com? Anyway,
Yeah.
something like that.
Something
We
like
have a
that,
global, if you just go to yamaha.com, there's a global page where you can select where you're
Yeah.
located in the world. And it will be announced, boy, it's going to be so soon. But we don't really have an actual date that I can tell you right now. But it's coming very, very soon. And it'll be awesome. So that's all I have for this edition of Tech Talk. Gentlemen, anything else?
No?
I
Thanks.
think we're done.
We're good.
So, on behalf of Hape, Manuela, Joel, I'm Blake Angelos, Yamaha US. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Tech Talk. The next Tech Talk we'll be doing, I believe, is July 9th. That is what I have on my calendar. And it will be on ANX. So we'll do a little in-depth focusing specifically on ANX and the different stuff that's in this instrument. And, you know, we'll have probably OS 2.0 to show you in that.
Probably we will.
I think so. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching this edition of Yamaha Tech Talk for Yamaha synthesizers. Have a good one. Thank you so much, guys. Great. Awesome. Love
Thanks.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a
great
good
day.
Bye bye.
Or evening.
Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye. Bonsoir.
Bye.
Ciao.